I'm Kate.
Give me a minute.
Okay. I'm just joking.
Don't rush me.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Hold on. Let me.
Already.
This is a good start.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Cold open wheezing. The wheeze instant.
I love the
Hey,
wheeze.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Rachel.
And I'm Hannah.
And this is Feast.
She.
And Shatter.
Is it hot in here or is it just me tuning in to hear these three chatting about fantasy novels of the spicy variety? Not your average book club, if you know what I mean. Are you happy to see us? Or is that a dagger? It's Feast, Sheep, Shatter. It's Feast, Sheep, Shatter.
So how did everybody like my cow video that I put together?
It was so good.
Very, very,
It was so funny.
very funny.
It was the background noise. The background
Yeah.
noises really made it special.
The elevator music,
Yeah.
I think is my favorite. And then the cow at the end.
Yeah,
The
the
bull.
mooing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm seeing cows everywhere, by the way.
Yeah.
And
I
it
watch-
feels so wrong.
Every time I see a Highland cow, we went somewhere that had a Highland cow and I was like, I'm like trying not to tell the people we're with, like, I just read a book about a Highland cow.
They're everywhere.
Well,
I'm telling
he
you.
was a minotaur.
Yeah.
A
That's
little
true.
Still, but the
different.
hair
Yeah.
reminds me of him.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. That's true. So
Everywhere I look, I'm
So what did we
reminded.
read this week?
We read The Necromancer's Bride by Brianna Hale.
Which it was.
It was
good.
an experience.
It was good.
So how did you find this book, Kate? 'Cause
It was
you
on
recommended
it was
this
on a
one.
TikTok list.
Oh.
It was on someone's list for spiciest books they'd ever read.
Okay.
I'm so glad you asked that because
Actually, I think
was like,
I think it was
come
actually. I'll
from?
take that back. It wasn't on spiciest books. I think it was on spiciest monster books
Oh, okay.
okay.
because we were going to stick with a monster theme for October.
Yep. Monster theme.
October monster theme.
You are correct.
So, if the Morning Glory Milking Farm was a Hallmark movie, this movie for me was like Crawl meets Skinamax
Yeah.
with lower stakes and a little bit cozy.
A little.
I mean, it wasn't like Crawl. Sorry, I just meant like that fantasy element.
Yeah,
What's a
yes.
good? What's a good? Help me find a universe.
No, it was good. He was kind of like the Emerald Seer, the like creepy dude in the forest.
Yeah. And also, yes.
Who probably makes that sound. Sorry. Hannah, have you
so-
seen Crawl? Well,
No.
now you have. It's fine.
No.
That's all you need to know
It's
about
fine. They're
Crawl.
doing a remake. It's fine. The pants will still be there. Referee pants forever, for life. So, I'm not really sure how to start talking about this book.
Right.
It's short story. It's a novella. It was 5 chapters long. It's a really quick read. You can probably clear it in like 2 hours. Stars are our protagonist's name is Rona.
Yeah.
And Rona, when she was a small child, got very, very sick. There's an illness that runs through the city because the magic,
It's like magical dysentery.
magical dysentery,
Yeah.
correct? Like the Oregon Trail,
Yeah.
but magical.
Yeah.
And the magic gets sucked up in the river because of magic traps or something.
They're like they do magic in the town and then they dump it like they dump the sewage, but they dump the like magical sewage in the river and it blows downstream and makes everybody sick downstream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little villages.
Yep. So the children don't have a high.
So they're victims of magical pollution, basically. Like from the wealthy people doing magic.
From the privileged magicians up the
Apparently.
way.
Yeah, which nobody went to them and was like, hey, can you guys make us a cure? They were like, how about that obscure guy in the woods that
The guy that lives on the
who's
mountaintop.
probably a necromancer? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's good with people, right? That's probably fine.
Yeah, he's closer. So he comes down. Her dad makes a deal, and he comes down, cuts her palm open, sucks out the juices right before she dies,
Yeah.
sucks out the shadowy powder death, spits it into the
The fire.
fire, And then they're bonded for life.
Yeah, because she has his mark on her palm,
Correct.
and so everybody hates her.
And thinks she's a witch.
Yeah,
Then she spends 7 years ostracized and feared.
As the town slut.
A
As the
sorcerer
town-
slut.
As the sorcerer slut.
You
So she's
little
like, well-
sorcerer slut.
And they call her that before she ever even meets him.
right,
And she's like, I didn't do anything but survive.
right.
I'm literally a survivor. A magic dysentery.
Marked herself safe.
Yeah.
from magic dysentery.
Yeah. So she gathers her. So then the kids start getting sick again. So she
Yeah.
gathers her things and frolics up to the mountaintop to where she meets our main man character.
Yeah, Merriman.
Our book boyfriend, the necromancer.
Correct. So he's a, how would you describe him? Go for it. I have no idea what he looks like.
Unique. I'm not really sure we get a good description except that he's kind of creepy looking,
I'm
but
thinking Voldemort, but like a little bit
Handsome.
hotter.
Handsome Voldemort.
Voldemort
Yeah.
but hotter. That's
Yeah.
probably
But like
very
not,
good.
like he has a human face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Voldemort pasty. Mm-hmm. Maybe with some abs a little. He's probably muscular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Let's go. It makes it more palatable, I guess. We're like, if he's not full Voldemort, no nose, nothing, just like, oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah. So he's he's a little pasty. He's half dead.
yeah.
We learn. Mm-hmm. He's been cursed.
He's waist down dead.
His
That's the half. That's
yeah.
the half.
His manhood
is inoperable.
is inoperable.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. He's worked it out. He's had time to think about
And
this.
It's fine.
And he is cold, like a dead person.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
cold.
He's cold. Yeah, and he has been that way for quite some time.
Yeah.
Why was he cursed?
A demon fell in love with him, and he didn't fall in love back. And so the demon cursed him.
As you do.
As you do.
As you do.
Yeah, it was a low frequency demon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
she
was
wasn't
like,
healed.
Than no one else.
They didn't have therapy in
Yeah,
hell
there's
yet.
There's no
No,
demon
they
therapy.
did not.
No.
No healing.
So he cannot get it up. He cannot rise
to any occasion.
But we don't find that out for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She goes through some pretty interesting experiences before
Sure
she's
does.
finally
And
like,
this is a virgin when she,
Not-
reaches the top of the mountain.
not just like I've never had a sexual experience, but I don't know what sex is, and I am not aware of any of the mechanics of this at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't even know I
I
had
don't
anything
know
down there.
what is.
She doesn't even know why they would call her,
Yeah.
shame her for anything.
Yeah,
She just thinks that's I don't know,
Yeah.
just a slur.
slur.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything to her.
Right.
Yeah,
Because she's not been educated, and they don't have sex education.
No,
No,
clearly
sex ed.
not.
No.
no. Everybody else has apparently, but not her.
Right.
Or they're all just calling her that word, not knowing what it means.
Maybe.
I don't know. But
That
she
seems-
gets there, and he's like, "Well, there's no rush. I mean, like, they're not like dying."
But he greets her as if she is his girlfriend.
Yeah,
Mhm. His bride.
yeah.
He's been
like,
waiting
"Oh,
for
good,
her.
you came."
Oh,
And
thank
she's
God
like-
you're here.
Which the way he phrases it kind of sounds like he marks a bunch of people, and then he's just like, "Well, one of them will finally make their way up here," and then I'll be like, "You have my special mark. You are the
I
chosen
marked
one."
you when you were a child.
It'd be awkward if another one showed up while she was there.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. Just,
Actually, that'd probably be exciting for all of them.
yeah.
So, what's her? And then she experiences her first experience. Who wants to share that?
Oh, he's like, "Will you clean my workshop? Oh, you could just like clean shit or whatever. Live here.
my
You have
magic
to live
lab."
here. Yeah, you have to live here because I can't help anybody until they're on the verge of death. That's how my power works. So we got to just kind of let them think they're going to die for a while. And then we'll go down there." And she's like, "Well, okay, that's fine. It's fine." So she stays, and then she's cleaning the workshop, and then he makes something. And she's like, "Oh, okay, that must be a potion to save everybody. I'm going to get it, and I'm going to take it back down, and I'm going to save everybody, and then I don't have to stay here any longer." And then she accidentally breaks it, and he freezes her in place. And this
That's the
slime,
ropes.
this slime ball, like,
It's flubber.
Yeah.
flubber makes its way over to her. But it's magical vibrator flubber. So
Yeah.
it just like makes its way up her skirt.
Up her leg.
I had to almost instantly. What would you
'Cause
call
it calls it-
suspend belief?
Just, yeah.
I had to immediately switch it.
Yeah, you have to check
from,
out a little
from
bit.
slime, which
Yeah.
is what they call it, slime, to lube, to like tingly hot lube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ugh. And it crawls over the floor to get to her. And then it like,
It
It's
inches-
picking up
it-
all that dust.
it inches its way
it's
over.
like, that's so
That's like
dirty.
you make slime for cleaning your car.
Yes.
yeah,
Imagine
but
all
not
the-
for cleaning your
But it is
car.
magic.
So he's got his little
Okay.
cauldron, but really it was just like Elmer's glue and some
An
like,
eye clean
activator.
activator.
contact lens solution.
It's like, this is going to be great.
Maybe some
Dash
glitter.
of borax.
Yeah.
The Target shaving cream, so it
Yeah.
smells like that.
Yeah.
If anybody knows what that smells like, that's what the
Oh.
slime's always like at the Mutual Friends.
Yeah. And this feels fair because it is non consensual for her because she gets tied in place and then she's like, please make it stop. And he's like, no, it's a gift. Just let this happen.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
He goes shh a lot.
Yeah.
Like the whole book is shh, I know best.
Yeah. Yes.
Which
Yeah.
in a magical fantasy world,
Whatever.
okay, here we are.
Here we are.
You
Not that kind of book.
Some people like that. There's a lot of people out there that like that.
And yeah,
Yeah.
And
it
I
wasn't my favorite
I did-
aspect of the book.
I was
Yeah.
worried about Rachel
Yeah.
at that part.
like, oh, Rachel's gonna hate it.
Rachel's gonna rage.
Rachel. Yeah.
I think I said that very gently. I didn't.
Yeah.
That wasn't my favorite
Yeah.
aspect. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and I reckon, like, I immediately am like, come on. You know, like,
Yeah.
come on, just ask her. Like, get, you know,
Walk
if
her
she-
through this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walk her through it. See if she's curious. Just don't spring it
Well,
on her.
he does in his very high-handed way. Heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Kind
So
of.
the,
When he like weights her down so she can't like move.
Yeah. Every time he sedates her but doesn't sedate her, he's like,
Yeah.
shh. Boop. And then he just,
yeah, and she's just
Sub
she
mode.
she can feel everything. She just can't move, right?
right.
So it's like she's tied up, but magically.
Yeah.
Magical bondage. Without consent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly less gross necrophilia because it's like, I want you to just lay there and not participate and not be able to participate, but I want you to be awake and feeling this.
Yeah. so
So she
we
goes
go-
on a sexual journey.
I
Yeah.
mean, we go pretty quickly.
so he
from-
awakens her and she realizes she actually does really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So she goes from being hesitant and like resistant to I'm into this relatively quickly. Mm-hmm. And she does have a dream one night.
That's how it starts out. That was my first laugh out loud.
Yeah. The dead hand.
The
Yeah.
dead hand coming out of the grave. I went,
That's a lot.
Yeah.
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 was
It's
like,
just not imagery that is in any way.
I've
yeah.
never been less turned on by a sex scene than a dead hand. I could feel its cold fingers, and she's like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Ugh, God."
Yeah. Yeah. I
the
definitely
soil,
the dirt.
the dirt, the grave dirt.
Yeah. Well, this wasn't necessarily for me, but no judgment. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
plenty of people out there that find the dead dirt hand.
However you want to find it, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's room for everything.
There absolutely is.
And so anyway, so she likes it. And then we get our first this is a momentous occasion and we should make t-shirts for it, but this is our first book with actual butt stuff in it.
Yes, real. You sent that meme of the pumpkin pulling its thong aside, and you were like, "This sums up our 2 books." And then we got no butt stuff in Minotaur Milking Farm.
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, it's all in this one."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
For as
Yeah.
much as we've talked about butt stuff.
But it was a joke because remember why I originally brought it up? Because there was this, when we were in high school, if you participate in butt stuff, you are still a virgin. That's the literal premise of this book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's going to keep
And
her
I was
a virgin.
just joking about how Selena, and Sam.
Yeah.
They
were-
just enjoy each other's bodies.
yeah.
But she's still a virgin because it's just butt stuff.
Yeah, it's just butt stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now we're getting actual.
But let me just say this. I think that all forms of intimacy are sex.
Yes.
We can't, you know what I mean?
No.
Like,
This is the problem with the virginity concept, which I've talked at length about my problems with the virginity
Yeah.
concept.
yes.
Which is just, I am a thing that's value is changed as soon as I have like an intimate experience, and that's utterly fucking ridiculous
Yeah,
because
it's
nobody
absolutely
talks about a
ridiculous.
it
man
is
that way.
medieval.
It is.
It is actually medieval.
And the fact that we still even talk about it, that we even still use the word or the term virgin is unbelievable to
yeah,
me.
nothing triggers me like the word virgin.
It
Nothing.
sends me into a fiery rage.
Yeah. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
Because we grew up super religious, and
Yeah.
that was a huge deal.
A huge deal.
Huge deal. And then your first sexual experience, like it's like a existential crisis. You're like, I'm literally different now. I'm a different person. I am,
And it's not in a good way.
yeah, I'm less than I was before because I can never get that back. It's gone now. Somebody took it from me, or I gave it
and
to
it is
them.
something, and there's value in taking it.
Yeah.
There is, more, your more masculinity
Yeah.
when you take someone.
Right. A
And a
man
woman has
becomes
less.
more, a woman becomes less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's
You know what
disgusting.
triggers me more than that? When men ask about body count and they think it's okay to have many, many partners, and they think that women are low value if they have many, many partners. That is for me, that's the most infuriating thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Because
And men, and a lot of times, I have come across men in the wild, friends, who will be this, I am so woke and I know so much and I support this and that and this, and then they still have these ass backward thoughts on who they should date and what they want their girlfriend to be like without recognizing how fucking misogynistic that is
yeah.
and how disgusting it is. It disgusts me.
Yeah.
This is why I have to be alone forever.
Yeah. I mean, it's all talk until let's see who you actually choose to be with. Like, are you serious about your ideals or not?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I
And they're
think
not.
virginity is bullshit.
Virginity is bullshit. All right.
Yeah, moving on.
So we can talk about we can talk
So are
about
we
the
gonna-
Lich. Are we going to talk about Felix?
Okay, yeah. So
Felix?
our first
He's a butler.
He's a
butler.
butler. Oh,
So Phylax is, in my mind, he was like a putty from
Yeah.
Power Rangers, and so he's like a manservant, he is the
I thought he looked like the chicken nugget from that show. Remember the show that was like the floating fries and the chicken nugget and the little drink? It was on Cartoon Network. Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in my mind, he looked like the little chicken nugget guy because she doesn't say he has he has no features.
Yeah, he's the shape of a man, but no face.
That's creepier.
I just pictured like
That's-
a dummy. Like,
But no face.
yeah.
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 And like skin, but no face.
Right. Because he's like a
He's-
smush ball of dead tissue
Yeah.
that's been animated.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Who
By
is controlled
Merriman.
by Merriman.
Yeah.
Merriman.
Merriman's like, when he's touching you, that's me touching you.
Which that was an interesting concept that
Yeah.
if I removed you're a sack of skin,
Yeah. Dead tissue.
it's more like it's an extension of Merriman.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh,
It's a
yeah.
toy.
Yeah, he's a giant toy.
Yeah.
He's a giant animated toy.
Yep.
So her first experience
I
It's a
did
body pillow.
I checked out like a little bit in this part, and I did not catch it was butt stuff until we got to the end, and she was like, "You're not going to let me be a virgin any longer," and I was like, "Hold up, I remember cock and balls
Penetration.
literally being stated in this."
And
And then I was like, "Oh, that's the butt stuff." And
Yeah.
I was like, huh? I
yeah.
just had to
Okay,
check
so
out a little bit.
he's like, Marimon's like, okay, come over here, dear. And she lays in his lap. She stays in her lap, and then
He sedates her.
and he puts her into the
Yeah.
superlius mode or whatever he calls it. And Phylax comes on over and takes the shape. He develops a manhood.
Equipment.
He develops equipment,
Yeah.
and he like cannonballs her legs up. And then the guy just goes for it.
Well, they use the slime.
They do use the
They
slime.
use the
thank
slime
God.
first.
Thank God. Which I'm
God.
sure has a numbing component, a
I
stretching
hope so.
component, all the work that has to be done typically to lead up to
A cleaning component.
a cleaning component.
I'm hoping that slime went to work.
Yeah.
Because
quick. And then he so there's
Yeah.
this whole scene.
Then he.
There's
Yes.
this whole
Yes.
scene of
Yes.
butt stuff.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Here we are. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this TikTok. This person was talking about how they read a lot of fan fiction. And so they saw a TikTok where someone was talking about like the craziest thing ever. And she goes, wait, did I send that to y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent it to you.
The double penetration.
The DP.
one.
And she was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
it was just DP.
Like
And she-
DP.
DP, like DP, y'all.
It's like a Tuesday night for me.
Yeah, and how like fanfics, and once again it goes back to what my thing about the spicy spectrum.
Yeah.
There is the spectrum looks so different.
Yeah.
Rachel talking about wanting to read the door book with the tentacles.
Unhinged. That's what it's called.
Yeah, and you just these.
I'm gonna read it. You just wait.
Yeah, you read it. We can do Rachel's corner. Rachel's corner. She read the door smut book.
Oh God, that's awesome.
But this part where it's just for some it might just be like, yeah, okay, moving on, and then for others it could be you have to just kind of pause
A minute.
a moment.
Yeah. It wasn't like that was too far. It was just like that wasn't where I was expecting that to go. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just giggled. I was just like in
I
giggle
giggled a
mode.
lot.
Yeah.
I was just in giggle mode.
There was just a lot of periods of adjustment in this book. Like, okay, I have
Yeah.
to reframe that in my mind so I can keep reading this.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. That's what I had to do too. I think this book is
Yeah. Well, during that scene, it's actually relevant. She reaches back behind to feel him because she's like, surely this is turning him on too, and nothing is happening. Mm-hmm. And that's when she has
She
like,
discovers.
yeah, we discover he's
his inability.
Yeah, and he actually gets like he has his first
Sad.
emotion in the book where he's like, yeah, sorry, like I can't be with you like that because I'm not.
Oh my God. I was just thinking about the end. I just read that in the car too. So we have our first butt stuff, which it was good. In a way, I can't. I really
Here it
just,
is.
here
There
it
it was. There was butt
Yeah,
stuff.
and it's
Yeah.
fine. But I don't think it works like that in real life. And so for me personally, I was just like, that's not how it works. And that wouldn't be fun. But in this book, cool. It's fantasy.
Yeah,
It's fantasy. It's
Yeah.
fantasy.
This isn't our last author who made sure it was all realistic and informative.
Yes.
This was very much like, here's how we would all like it to work.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work like that, right?
Yes.
But with the slime, maybe the slime does work, puts in work that. Anyways, yeah. So when what happened? So the kids are getting sicker, and then
They finally go down.
So they go
Miramon
down
finally
and
goes
save 'em.
down, and cuts their little hands open, and then they go back up to the castle,
yeah.
and then they get married
Yeah.
by saying, Do you take me in death? In death?
In death,
In death? In death and in death? And she goes, I take you in death and in death. And he's like, great, we're married. Now let's do it. So then she gets this great idea. She kisses him and says, I love you.
She gives him love's first kiss
Love's-
to break the spell.
Which I
Yes.
just feel like she had loved him longer than that. So wouldn't the spell break? I had a really big issue with this. Like, does the spell, I guess the spell is only verbally.
No, it's because she was, I don't know.
It's not that kind of book.
It's not that kind of book.
Just really didn't like this part. It was so funny. She was like, I've got an idea.
Well, she's like flipping through some old like books and sees one of these old stories that her mom used to read to them of the princess,
Yeah.
you know, getting Snow White type thing. She's like, I'm gonna try this.
She's like, I got a good idea for the bedroom. I'll try kissing him.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet. It's going to be
most-
real kinky.
Typical.
Yeah, we're going to kiss. I'm going to kiss him and tell him I love him.
I mean, that's the first time they kissed.
It is.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
Because everything else was like, come up, because his courting ritual was like, here, I made you a slime vibrator.
So they
And
hadn't.
paralyze you.
Let me
hadn't-
tie you in place so you can know how great my gift is. And then it was, hey, I made you this man with a giant
Wait, they-
penis. Let's have butt
They
stuff.
didn't kiss before they got
No.
married.
No, his
Wow.
foreplay was the slime, the phalanx fuck thing, and then
The butt stuff.
Yeah, and then
The Philex butt stuff.
then the marriage. Oh, feel like healing her people with,
Yeah.
and she's like, oh,
Oh, okay. So the first kiss. Okay, that makes way more
Yeah,
sense to
yeah.
me. I was like, wait, when you were kissing him before, you
no,
also.
no,
And
no, no
She's
kissing.
like, can you take your clothes off? Since it's our honeymoon. It's like, no, I'm really cold. I'm a necromancer. Come on, just so we can both have our clothes off
And
for
we
the
can
honeymoon.
feel so close. And then they kiss, and then all of a sudden it's like, and then a ripple of
Then
hate.
it's-
It's like, and then the story ends happy.
Yeah,
And he figures out how to make the magical dysentery traps.
yeah, they make like magical filters.
She guess what happens at the end?
She gets pregnant, doesn't
knocked
she?
up.
Yep,
Yeah.
she has a baby.
Yep.
And that was it.
And that's,
And that's that
it.
story.
It's a love story.
It's a love story.
True love conquers all.
It does. It does.
Oh God.
I mean, he had a limp dick for like hundreds of years.
Yeah, it's true. He had to watch Chicken Nugget have all the fun. Now he doesn't have to anymore.
Could he feel what Chicken Nugget felt?
No, I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Oh. So he couldn't.
It was just watching her enjoy herself
Ah, yes. Okay.
in all the ways he wanted her to enjoy herself. Yes.
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 So this book's problematic in a couple ways.
Couple little things.
Her first experience
two.
being,
Yeah.
it does feel a little
It's
fan
a little
fiction.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna lock
a
you
little
up
bit.
here with me.
Sure.
And by the end of it, you're gonna find out you love me because, like, statistically speaking, that's what happens when you get imprisoned.
Yeah, and you've
somebody-
been starving your whole life, and I'm giving you 3 square meals a day.
Because you
Yeah.
adjust and you start to empathize, right?
Yeah.
With your captor.
Yeah.
Because people, what was I listening? Or I was listening to or reading something, or it's probably a fucking TikTok, but
probably one of your crime shows.
no, I can't remember what it was.
Yeah,
But
crime show.
we're talking about how human beings will always adjust.
yeah.
Always, no matter how bad things get, you're going to.
Because we have to.
We
Yeah.
have to, right? So, yeah, that definitely happened here.
Yes. Well, I mean, we set her up for it because we put her in a hostile environment. Mm-hmm. Everybody hates you and everybody thinks you're a slut. You don't know what that means, but everybody thinks it. And then you still, for some reason, feel like you need to save everybody, most likely because it's your younger siblings that are sick. So you leave to go get Merriman. And when you get there, he's like moderately nice. Like,
Like here's
Tiny
a
bit
fire and a bed and a meal.
yeah. Like, here's better food than you've ever had. Here's your own bed. I'm not going to call you a slut. And she's like, I think I love you.
You know who else did that? Farah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how Tamlin
Old
got
Tam
her.
Tam.
Little Tam Tam. So I just finished my fourth reread of A Court of Thorns and Roses. I just threw that shit on this week. I was like, I cannot. It's like, for me, it's like if I don't have anything that I'm really enjoying, I cannot watch a TV show more than once. It's very rare that I can watch a TV show more than once. But a book, an audiobook, if I like it, I can listen to it over and over and over.
Yeah.
So I was just revisiting Tamlin's experience. I just missed all the red flags the first time.
Now
I
you're
don't
like,
miss them
sure
again.
did.
you're
Never
like, oh,
again.
there they
Never
are.
again.
There they are.
There they are.
There they are.
I
Yep.
flew right past those red flags.
This
'Cause-
guy is so great.
Oh my God.
Because when you wear
so
rose-colored
awesome.
glasses, all the red flags just look like flags.
That's Jesus. Did you make that up? Or did people say that?
Matt says that.
Oh, okay.
He's like, when you wear rose-colored glasses, all the red flags just look like flags.
Wow.
Love is
awesome.
colorblind. Well,
Love should
Wait.
not be colorblind.
I mean, yeah, like with the rose colored glasses.
Yeah,
Like it's all
yeah.
clear rose.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's because you want to. I mean, traditionally, Tamlin would be he'd be the love interest. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was terrible.
Yeah, he's real shitty to her.
He's so shitty.
He explains nothing.
No,
Nothing.
like it's the withholding of information for
Yeah.
me now.
Blech.
The moment and I'm reading another book too, Blood and Steel. It's actually pretty good. It wouldn't be a bad one for us to do. But
Is that the Jennifer Armentrout one?
no,
Oh.
that's Blood and Ash.
Okay.
I know it's
Sorry.
confusing.
There's
No,
so
that's
many
the Poppy
blood
and Poppy
blood
and
and-
Castile.
Bloodins.
Yeah.
that's different. I don't think we can do that eventually. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the world pans out.
Yeah.
So, but this one is. Oh my God, what were we talking about?
You're reading a book.
Blood
Blood
and
and
Steel.
Steel.
What were we
Do you
talking
think
about
we
before
should
that?
read it?
The
Withholding
hold-
information.
holding-
Yeah.
The main character who
Holdle.
we're supposed to really like is constantly withholding information from her, and I really struggled with it. Mm-hmm. I was like, "Fuck you!
Yeah.
Don't Tamlin right now."
Because it feels controlling and manipulative.
It is controlling. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
When you decide what they get to hear, and you think because you're protecting, well, and I guess it kind of made sense more towards the end, but I just, the whole time, I was like, am I supposed to know how big of an asshole you are right now? Or does the author just not understand that is
Yeah.
completely unacceptable?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so anyways, I'm glad that
I'm following a creator who's doing a read of Eclipse, and she's reading it all in one go.
like one
And so
sitting.
One sitting. And so she does hourly updates, and it'll be like start time, current time, page number. And it is hysterical.
Oh my
like
gosh.
to watch it, someone like a Gen Z person go through Eclipse.
She's never read it.
She's like, what the fuck is this? She's like, all of this, and she's not even going to get vampire dick at the end. She's like, she's going through all of this, and there's not even going to be sex.
Nope.
And it's hysterical because it's because Eclipse is super problematic.
Super.
Yeah.
And like,
Because Edward's so withholding.
yeah, that's exactly what he does. Is he's like, they break up. He leaves her in the middle of the woods. Mm-hmm. Like he takes her out to the middle of the woods, breaks up with her in the middle of the woods. She trips over a tree, and she's like, well, I guess this is where I die.
This is where I live now.
I'm going to die here because there's no point in going on. And she finally makes it back home, and he's taken everything of his that she had, including any pictures that she had of him, everything.
Yeah. Gaslighting?
Yeah, it's super.
It's like, oh, but we're supposed to love him again at the very end. Anyway, I just thought it was really, all these books that you read and you're like, is this what you were intending? Or like, am I supposed to see him as problematic right now? Or are you hoping this sounds romantic? Like I'm saving you from me, or I'm
Well, it
saving you
doesn't
from
age
this
well.
information.
It's just
does
like the
not.
comedy. It's just like the comedic tone in 2008,
Yeah,
right? Like you can't say that. They can't make a show like that anymore.
right.
No one, everybody would be like, what? Like we're all too healthy. People are too emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank goodness.
society
Thank goodness.
has
Yeah.
shifted. But I also saw another thing about how people have just gotten way, 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 way better about only saying really bad shit in private. So people are still saying it. Well, I think that a lot of the elder millennials, they actually think how they're supposed to. Does that make sense?
Maybe.
I'm not expressing myself well because Rachel's face.
I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that. Like,
So like,
we've put a lot of work into it because we had all the boomer programming,
correct.
and then we've watched the change.
So my point is, like, this kid was like a Gen Z kid talking about how he will say the tasteless, maybe like ableist or something joke in private with his friends,
yeah.
right? I would never make that joke.
Well, I think
Yeah.
it's because to them, it's like you can joke about it because you didn't go through a time where it was totally okay to say that out loud.
Sure.
Yes.
And so it's like an ironic joke, like, haha, I'm saying the
Yes.
ironic thing. Whereas we're like, no, I remember when that shit was on TV.
that we
was
used to say that for
and
that was
that
real.
was
really normal.
problematic
Yeah.
and painful. And
Yeah.
I don't even want to joke about it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't joke about it.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking, like the difference in these kids who see it, like, yeah, when they say I'm just kidding, like they mean it. Like
Yeah.
everyone knows.
Yeah, like
No
they would
one's gonna-
never actually think
Yeah.
that.
And
Yeah.
also, no one's going to believe we're joking. Like, once you've
Oh,
gone
sure.
past, like, a kid, you're like, oh, haha, they're being young and
Yeah,
whatever.
funny.
Oh my gosh, I had this experience with Isabel
What'd
this
she
past
say?
weekend. She was making a sound. I'm like even embarrassed to do
Don't
it
do
for
it
y'all.
then.
It was a sound that we would make in middle school while like mocking
I
a
understand.
specially abled person. She was laughing like that. And I was like, Isabel, don't do that. I don't know where she got it or where she heard it. And she was like, why? And she really didn't know why. And I said, like, later when I got her alone, I was like, listen, that sounds like it's making fun of somebody like this. And she was like, what? Why would anyone make fun of somebody like that? Like, she was like genuinely confused.
Right, because she hadn't had the experience where
Yeah,
she
like
grew up
we
around
actually
people
did that.
actually doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, yeah,
Yeah. They don't
this
know.
is great. This is a different time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great.
It's
Yes.
awesome.
Which is really great. Yeah. Which is what I was talking about. Like I would never make the joke. I wouldn't make the joke. I wouldn't make
Right.
the joke to anybody.
Right.
If I heard the joke, I would be like, that's not funny.
Yeah. You'd call it out.
Because we have to that's not funny.
Yeah.
You know who
Yeah.
you gotta do that to. We got a friend. No, dummy. Not Hannah.
Not
Hannah
Hannah.
goes, me?
Who, me?
No, not you. And you're
You
not
know who?
you're not a dummy. I'm
You
sorry I
know
said
who.
that. That was a mean thing to say.
Silly.
I didn't think you were
We
dumb.
say silly.
Silly goose.
He's so
Silly.
silly in this house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do that a lot when we're reading. Look, if I'm reading out loud, especially some of the books that came out when we were younger, there's a lot of stupid, dumb, like just words that I'm like, I don't really feel comfortable
Yeah.
having these characters call each other that, even in jest. And I'm like, oh, they're so silly. And now they can finally both read. They're like, why do you not say the word that's on the page? I'm like, because I don't want to say it out loud. I
Don't like
Because
it.
it was
really
mean.
hard.
And there was
It's
a
mean.
time where that was perfectly
perfectly
normal to
Yeah.
say that about people. It'll be really interesting to see how that shifts as we get older and your Gen
Alpha.
Alpha gets older. Yeah.
Is that like our kids?
Yeah.
Our kids. Yeah.
Gen Alpha.
Anyone after 2009, I think.
I'm placing a lot of hope in them.
Like, you have all of our hopes and dreams here, children.
All
Well,
Please make the world better.
help us.
in other news,
yeah.
2 more novellas from in the ACOTAR series have been announced. 2 more small books, cozy reads, like A Court of Frost.
Like the Frost and Starlight?
Yeah, novellas.
2 back to back?
I don't know,
or-
but 2 more have been put on like a couple book lists.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm hoping we get some cool stories like Lucian going and hanging out with Papa Archeron,
Yeah.
or more when she disappears. But I know that's going to be more relevant in the next book because she's been MIA for a minute. She was super MIA.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, that happened.
She's done that before. She's written stories before, like Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be great. I would.
Yeah, because there's a whole other story of what happens on the continent
Yes.
that they're just like, yeah. We just read a book
the
for
queens and all
Yeah.
that.
We just read a book for the book club for Strange and Beautiful Book Club, and it's about this character, and like we hint at her mother throughout the book, and I was like, the mother sounds like a way better character. Like, why didn't we just write the book about the mother? And that's how I felt like, okay, why did I not follow Lucian over there? He like went on a quest,
Yeah.
found a firebird in a lake.
Their dad, coincidentally,
found their dad, and then like bargained to get the firebird to come back.
Yeah.
With, like,
I want
they
that
just-
story.
yeah.
and they're just like, yeah, Lucian did whatever, but we still
But-
hate him, so whatever.
But what if it's about what Lorcan did?
I mean, I'd read that too. So,
But what did he do?
But what did he
I
do?
mean,
What
is
if
there
it's
a
about
reason why she didn't put that in
that?
there?
Yeah, because it was a YA book,
it's not.
except for the Sandy Vagina book.
And
Except
we'd
for-
already
except
had
for
sex.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Okay.
There was no
I was
reason.
like, if she really wanted
Maybe
to
Lorcan can't have YA sex.
be what he cannot.
No, he
He is
absolutely
not
cannot.
a lead and a Lorcan. It's like Silver Flames.
Yeah.
They are not. No,
No.
that is not the tone of their book.
Yeah.
He's 7 feet fucking tall. Fling her ass around.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't, it's just so much.
It's so much.
So what are we reading next? Have we talked about this book enough?
Yeah, I think if we talk any more about it, it'll just be us talking about how problematic it is, and I don't want to like harp
So
on that.
would we
so
would we
much.
tell our friends to read? I would not recommend. I would recommend this to a friend with a lot of warnings.
I would recommend it in a check out this shit
Book, yeah.
book, and then let's talk about it afterwards.
You want a quick read? That's
It's going to give us a lot to chat about. Here you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
So our next book is Fourth Wing, which I'm so excited about.
Do you have the book?
I have the book.
Do you have the physical
Did you
book
read it
or
yet?
the-
No,
Did you read it yet?
No, I just saw it and I was like, well,
Hey,
I'll go ahead and
you know
grab
what
it.
happened? There was a mystery book on Amazon, a mystery release, November 7th. I bought it, and it's actually just a special edition Fourth Wing.
Cool.
So when do we have to have the first one read by?
we haven't set that date yet,
Oh, okay.
but we're doing Fourth Wing and Iron Flame.
Next month, right.
Yeah. In November.
In November. I'm excited.
I'm
Fourth
so
Wing,
excited.
I mean, Iron Flame doesn't come out till November 7th.
Yeah.
It's not even out yet.
right.
Right. Well, we'll figure it out because usually we do, bi-monthly. So we'll just have to figure out
Okay.
what time during the month. But we're only reading Fourth Wing and Iron Flame in
Yes.
November. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
we've got this. And you guys have both already read Fourth Wing.
Yes.
Yeah. That's fine. I've been in this position before.
Twice. Twice.
I've
Oh my God,
only
okay.
I've only listened once. So I think I'm gonna read it
Read it
this time.
Maybe I'll take it on the cruise. Me and probably half of the other women on the cruise.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. There's
Exactly.
nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. Is anybody reading anything else right now? You're
Yeah.
rereading ACOTAR again.
Yeah, but that's just like what I do when I'm like cleaning. That's not.
Yeah.
And I'm not
it's
reading
like me
it.
and
I'm-
Harry Potter. Like
I'm
it's
not
just
read-
always on.
I'm not reading it. I'm listening to it, which I still think that's reading, but some people don't think it's reading because I'm
That's
not.
ableist bullshit is what that is.
I am.
Yes.
I am reading it.
You are reading it.
I mean, I am absorbing the context of that story.
To say that listening to an audiobook is not reading is to say that a blind person cannot read.
right.
Well, and somebody said, well, blind people read with Braille,
No, not all blind people have access to Braille books.
right?
Look how easy it is to access audiobooks. When was the last time you saw Braille books on the shelf?
Yeah, they're so big. They're like hard to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that too. I also saw, did I send y'all that TikTok where the guy's like, there's like, wow, how do you have time to read so many physical books?
yeah.
And he goes,
My shelf trophies.
you mean my shelf trophies? And he pulls he's like, this one was 45 hours. I'm like, bro, that is me
me to
all
a T.
day. I don't like to have books. I don't have a lot of space. I have a tiny little space. I don't have the room for them. So I have like 120 audiobooks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm ACOTAR. I just read A Dark Window, which would be a great book for this one. It's really good. It's got a really fascinating magic system in it where it's like the magic system's based on tarot, like these tarot cards. It's really, really cool. Really cool book. I read that. What else am I reading? I read the sequel to Blood and Steel, which is called Vow and Ruin. I read, trying to think. I don't know. What are y'all reading over at Strange and Beautiful?
We read Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Morano Garcia.
How'd that go? Is that a vampire?
Yeah, it's one of those ones that like it went into print and then it went out of print for a while because like it got shuffled in some kind of acquisition, whatever. I don't know. And then it was like, oh, but this book is so great. Like you got to find an out of print copy. And so they ended up bringing it back. And I was like, I'm kind of excited. Like it came back from being out of print because people were so sad that it was gone. And then it was just really underwhelming. Like it just wasn't, it was okay. It was a fine book. It
Yeah.
just wasn't like they want a great book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is okay.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
It felt like it needed to be 200 pages long or it needed to be a novella in a larger series
Sure.
because I didn't understand why I should care about the main character. And at no point did I
Well,
feel
that's
like,
an issue.
you know, the whole
Yeah.
thing was we don't want her to die. And I'm like, well, why? Why do we not want her to die? It's just kind of, I don't know. I mean, I don't want her to die because I don't want anybody to die, but I don't know why this person.
But why
in pat-
especially
Why
her?
especially are we fighting so hard to say? Because
Yeah.
everybody she meets, they're like, "Oh, I hate you. I don't want to help you. Okay, fine. I'll risk my life for you." And you're like, "But why though? Like, what did she do? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't know."
See.
And we read Dune Messiah.
How many Dunes are there?
There's 6 in the main series.
And you've gone through all of them?
We read Dune and Dune Messiah, and we're gonna do Children of Dune, and then we'll do the last 3.
I can't do more than the first one.
There's a TV adaptation of Dune Messiah if you just want to watch it.
I might. But
And it's
I
really
tried
good.
to read. I think I actually have the second one.
It's got James McAvoy in it.
He's nice. He's a nice one. I read a book called Crown of...
Baby James McAvoy.
It's a little one. I'll check that one out. I read Crown of Blood and Glass and DNF'd it. I hated it. It was so bad. It was...
Which one's that one?
Crown of
It,
Blood
it's
and
just a
Glass.
random...
Okay.
It's just a random, like, Kindle Unlimited fantasy. I saw it on a list. I started it. I have never been so annoyed by characters the way they think in my entire life. Honestly, the author writes the way I think, where she repeats herself over and over and over again. And I think I just really need to work on that. Because
You're like sending apology texts to all your friends and family.
I'm just, well, it's fine in like certain settings, but these characters would say the same thing over and over again, but like in a different setting.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know really what great writing looks like, but I know it's not
I
this.
feel like
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah, and I just the main character was really whiny and the premise was cool, but I just couldn't. And I haven't felt
Yeah,
that
that happens.
annoyed by a book. Maybe in a different phase of the month, I would have been fine.
Yeah.
But that day, that was not the day. So I started ACOTAR over. It's like, I just want to listen.
Forget this.
I just want to listen to something I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when there's 15 books, you know, you can just
Yeah.
always.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need a win. You need like a,
Yeah.
I'm going to love this.
Well, you know how some people watch like Friends or The Office over and over again? They have
Yeah.
their like comfort TV. I
Yeah.
can't do that, but I do. I
You can have a comfort story.
I can have that.
Yeah.
That's what it's like for me with those. So I started Miss and Fury today. That was great.
It was great.
How about you? You reading anything else?
I'm re-listening to Best Served Cold by Joe Abercrombie. It's like one of my faves.
I started a Blade itself like 4 times. I cannot.
have it on the shelf over there. I'm
I
going to read
really
it
love
eventually.
it.
I have the
really
Audible
love
book
it.
if you want. I have heard that. And I've been trying to read male authors, books written by men. And you know, it's just their voice is just so dumb. And I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I just
It's
said
different.
that.
It's
I
a
just
different.
said that. Yeah. You know, they
Yeah.
just write about like war and like
very
violence and
violent.
stuff. And I just like, you know, it's just not for me. It's a preference. Oh, I guess I'm just going to say one more thing, but Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift at SNL this weekend. It brings me so much joy, and I don't
so
know why he's
tall.
so tall. But do you know the thing with what's this dang book? The Jane Austen book where they Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, the hand.
Yeah, you know the movie,
The flex hand?
How
Yeah.
the flex hand. Mm-hmm. People are putting Travis holding Taylor's hand next to the flex hand and like comparing it because he's just so gentle with her. He's just like leading her around.
Yes, how he helps her out of the car like this.
Yeah, like with a little gentle pause. He's like, this way. Come on, little Princess Gem. Anyways, okay, enough of that. It was great. Bye.
Until next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Is it hot in here or is it just me? Tuning in to hear these three chatting about fantasy novels of the spicy variety. Not your average book club, if you know what